back to Kim Reads, and today we will be doing some Aesop's Fables. The Fox and the Stork. A fox invited a stork to dinner and slyly served the stork nothing but thin soup in a very shallow dish. The fox lapped up his soup easily, but the poor stork could only wet the end of her bill. She left the fox's house as hungry as she had arrived. "I am so sorry," said the fox with a crafty smile, "that my soup was not to your liking. Perhaps it was not seasoned enough." "Oh, do not apologize," said the stork. "Would you do me the honor of dining with me next week?" The fox consented and arrived at the stork's house looking forward to a good meal. But to his disappointment, he saw the soup was served in a long jar with a narrow mouth. The dwarf thrusted her long neck and bill into the jar and thoroughly enjoyed her dinner. The fox could only lick a few drops around the neck of the bottle, but he dared not find fault with the stork. He understood only too well that he who tricks others must expect to be tricked. The Lion and the Bulls. A lion prowled about in a pasture where 4 bulls were grazing. He tried many times to capture them, but each time he failed. Whenever he came near, the 4 bulls turned and formed a ring, so that no matter which way the lion approached, he was met by their horns. One day, however, the bulls had a quarrel and would not speak to one another. Each went alone to a separate part of the pasture to graze. This was the moment the lion had been waiting for. One by one, he attacked the bulls and made an end of them. Well fed and contented, the lion thought, those beasts would still be grazing had they remembered, "United we stand, divided we fall." The Milkmaid and her pail. A milkmaid was on her way to the market. On her way, she carried a large pail of milk. As she walked along, she thought of all the money she could have as soon as she sold the milk. "I shall buy hens from Farmer Brown," she thought, "and they will lay eggs every day. I will sell the eggs to the parson's wife. She will pay me well. With the money from the eggs, I will buy myself a new frock and bonnet. What color shall they be? I think green, a lovely green, for the color becomes me best. When I go to the market, I will wear my new clothes. All the young men will want to speak to me, of course, but I shall pretend not to see them. When they follow me, I shall walk proudly on. I'll toss my head like this." And with that, she tossed her head. The pail slipped off from her head, and the milk spilled all over the ground. The milkmaid brought her empty pail and her sad tale home to her mother. "Ah, my daughter," said the mother, "do not count your chickens before they are hatched." The Wolf and the Lamb. One day a wolf met a lamb who had strayed from the fold. The wolf resolved not to kill the lamb without a good excuse that would justify his right to eat him. So he said, "Ah, so you're the lamb who insulted me so harshly last year." "Indeed, no," bleated the lamb. "A year ago I was not yet born." The wolf tried again. "You must be the lamb that feeds my pasture." "No, good sir," the lamb protested. "I have not yet tasted grass." "Well," snapped the wolf, "then you are the lamb who drinks from my well." "No," cried the lamb, "I have no need of water, for my mother's milk is both food and drink to me." Seizing the lamb, the wolf said, "I will have my supper, even though you deny every one of my accusations." As the lamb struggled to be free, he thought, "Any excuse will serve a tyrant." The Mice in Council. One day the mice called a meeting to discuss how they might best outwit their enemy the cat. They talked for hours, but could not find a good plan. At last a young mouse stood up with an air of great importance. "We all know," said he, "that it is the sly way in which our enemy approaches us is that of greatest danger. I propose that a bell be hung around the neck of the cat. Then we will always know when she is coming, and we will have time to hide." The mice were very excited about this idea. "How clever," they said. "At last we have found a way." But then a wise old mouse said, who had sat silent, stood up to speak. "Yes," he said slowly, "it is indeed a wonderful plan. We will surely be saved. When the bell tinkles on the neck of the cat, we will have time to run. But tell me this, which one of us is going to put the bell on the cat?" The mice looked from one to another, and no one spoke. Then the old man shook his head sadly and said, "Yes, my friends, many things are easier said than done." The Trumpeter taken prisoner. There was once a trumpeter who liked to ride at the head of a troop, blowing his trumpet proudly. One day in battle, he was forced to be taken prisoner by the enemy. He cried out to his captors, "Please spare me. I have not killed a single man in your army. Indeed, I have no weapons. See, the only thing I carry is this harmless black brass trumpet." "That is the very reason why you should die," his captor replied. "While you do not fight yourself, your trumpet stirs up all the others to battle. He who incites others to war is worse than he who fights." And that's all I'm going to read. Thanks for listening. Have a nice night.